From the loft of the Caskey Lodge in Kalkaska, Michigan, it's the Rollsreece podcast. And here he is, Rollsreece!
Hey everybody, welcome to the special Hangover edition of the Rollsreece podcast. I was going to do a cast last night. I don't have a guest this week, but I was going to do the Rollsreece Descent into Drunkenness SODE last night, but I ended up descending a little too quick and kind of just freaking went down for the count kind of early, so I didn't quite make it. But hey, I'm here this morning. Just got up off my cot, in the janitor's closet here at the Caskey Lodge. That's right, I do live here at the Caskey Lodge. This is my home, and I'll tell you what, I'm feeling pretty rough today. That's for sure, folks. But thanks to my sponsor here, our unofficial sponsor, Miller High Life, little head of the dog what bit me. And thanks for everyone tuning in. I'm a little rough today. I'm in rough shape, but hey, I figured, show the good and the bad here with the Rollsreece podcast. Even when you're on the rough side, sometimes you gotta, step up to the mic and make it happen. So that's what I'm trying to do here. But this might be a shortened edition here. I'm hanging out on a Saturday morning, and I just didn't line up a guest for this week. I kind of just thought, maybe I'll just, I have had nothing but fun, with every one of my guests. I mean, Ben, Gabe, Aaron, and Jill, and my dad. All those afternoons were super fun. But sometimes you just want to kind of lay low, watch some TV for the day. So that's what my plan is here. I'm just going to kind of lay low and have a few drinks and do the recovery process. I think some of my listeners out there might know what I'm talking about. Sometimes after you hit it hard, boom, you got to go down for the count for a few. But you make the best of it. It was a tough week. I'll tell you that. I didn't get a lot of sleep this week. Typically, I'm, going to bed at a pretty reasonable time, but for some reason I was pushing the clock past midnight every night of the week, not even partying or anything, just kind of staying up and watching TV, or, I'd see a movie that's good and, and then I feel like shit the next day, that's just how it goes. And then it kind of accumulates, and next thing you know, I'm over here making a fool of myself at the Caskey Lodge on a Friday night. I stumbled out of the janitor's closet and, hit the bar pretty hard, and Denise was there, kind of just help yourself, Rollsreece, help yourself, and I did, and shot after shot after shot, beer after beer. About an hour later, I had to retreat back to the cot. So, I was down for the count, but I'm gonna make the best of it today. Get a little work done around the Caskey Lodge here. They have some tablecloths and stuff that need to be washed. I take care of that for them. They got some floors that need to be mopped. I take care of that. So I'm gonna do all that, and at the same time enjoy maybe a cocktail or two. How it goes. Nectar of the gods. So. Nothing too exciting going on this week, unfortunately. Haven't really been doing too much. I was thinking about I feel like hey, maybe I'm working a little too hard around here at the Caskey Lodge. I found a wheelchair by the side of the road, and it was just. People were giving it away. No one was in. I didn't dump anyone out of it or anything, if that's what you're thinking. No, this was a legitimate garbage dump wheelchair that I found by the side of the road. And I've been thinking about using it at work, because there's a lot of stuff I got to do as far as, counting things that are down on low shelves. And sometimes you spend it would be nice to have a chair. And they're like, why don't you use one of these office chairs? I don't know. It doesn't really have the same feel, I don't know. So anyway, I got this wheelchair. Maybe that'll, help me a little bit get through the week here at work. I'm gonna try using that a little bit. I don't know. not really, not really, I need it. I definitely don't need it, but I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna see what happens with it. I'm gonna try it out. And I don't know. It's kind of an unusual find. I remember when I was a kid. I don't even know where this wheelchair came from, but when we were kids, there was one in our house somehow. I don't know how. I don't remember how, but and we had it for not long. But my brother and I got really freaking good at balancing, doing wheelies in the wheelchair, and doing spins and stuff. And not to brag, but I still got some of the old skills doing it. So every now and then I'll break it out, and it's not easy to do, but it seems like a lot of people get the hang of it pretty quick. And I don't know. It's kind of an unusual thing. So I'm gonna try breaking that out this week. Other than that, just kind of laying kind of low. I don't know what you do most weekends. Me, I pretty much just after working a hard week around here at the Caskey Lodge. I just like to lay back and kind of take it easy. I get on the phone, I talk to people. I do a little bullshit in here and there. See what's going on, check in with the folks. I mean, most of the time when it comes to my dad, he's calling me, so that saves a little time. I take about one of three of those. There's only so much you can do. But I take about one out of three, and then my mom, I need to call her more. It's just how it always is. You got to call your mom more than your dad. That's just how it goes. And I'm happy to do it because I love my mom. And speaking of which, Mother's Day coming up here. So don't forget about your mom. I mean, I'm definitely going to make an effort here. I'm gonna make something happen. I don't know what. I don't want to say here on the podcast because the podcast is coming out before the gift. So I don't want any spoilers here, but I'm definitely making something happen. And moms are just the greatest because they love you no matter what, and they're happy with anything. But I always try and do something special for her, which is a card with just cash money in it, because that is the universal gift card. I mean, it used to be cash wasn't, the acceptable thing to do. Well, I don't know why. I mean, like I say, you can buy anything you want with it. So, I mean, wouldn't that be, but it's like, oh, there's no thought. Hey, I can't think for you. I mean, you can make your own decisions. I just want to help you out with those decisions. That's all I'm doing. That's the best gift. So, I think that the whole cash, the stigma around cash, not being a good thing, it's a good thing. Just give cash, and then the goods will be purchased. The economy will flourish either way. I mean, the money's gonna get spent. So, nothing wrong with cash. I'm all for it. The cash gifts. Sometimes you have the people, I make all my gifts. Depends how good of a craftsman you are. I mean, if you're a really good craftsman, hey, great, I love these gifts. If you're just kind of, tacking something together that's going to fall apart in a week, give me the cash. Whatever you spend on the materials, I'll take that, because I'd rather have something that's going to last, or something I can use. But, that's the gift giving dilemma, I'm sure. But the long and short of it is that moms love you, they appreciate you, and quite frankly, if you have a mom that doesn't, well, then the heck with her. You got friends, you got other people that are willing to freaking step in there and make sure you're doing all right. So, that's kind of the vibe here at the Caskey Lodge. It's pretty early in the day around here right now. Ricky isn't here today. He's not causing any problems. He hung in a little bit last night, but he's a pretty responsible dude, and he didn't drink and ended up driving himself back to campus, and I guess he is getting some sort of degree. I don't know exactly what, and but yeah, I mean, he is an unpaid intern, and for as little as he's done, I mean, if nothing else, he's been a mascot for the Caskey Lodge. I mean, the people around here love him. They look at him, not really like a pet, but he's definitely the mascot around here. And Ronnie's taking a shine to him, and the medicinal effects that Ricky sometimes will bring to the table. And, we make sure Ronnie gets home safe and sound every day. And I do mean day. He leaves pretty early. He's out of here by 4. You don't see, he wasn't out here last night. He was home doing his thing, you know, whatever that is. Falling asleep in a chair is what I imagine, but I don't know. I haven't talked to him much. He's not much of a talker. I mean, he's the kind of guy who'll walk up to you just like, hey, how you doing? With a big smile, and he kind of shakes your hand too long. He's the guy who's just like, okay, and I mean, I'm guessing at one time the grip was tight too, but I don't think it's too tight anymore. It's not the loose handshake. He's making an effort. I mean, he's really shaking that hand. But Ronnie, a couple shakes. That's all you need, buddy. I mean, we don't need to do the 30-second handshake where you're kind of saying things that I don't understand and smiling. I appreciate it. I appreciate you sponsoring me here and letting me take up residence in the janitor's closet. And bring outside intruders who aren't members here at the Caskey Lodge, like Ricky. I know Denise, she isn't here yet. It's kind of the early morning crowd. And, but, they kind of give me the run of the place, Like I say, I'm kind of the caretaker here, for room and board. And, they don't let me run wild. I've gotten out of hand a few times. There was the one time where, Denise had to come up to me and said, hey, I don't do a good impression of Denise, so I'll just use my own voice. She said, hey, I think you've had enough. And, I just yelled, I'll tell you when I've had enough. And they sent me right to the closet. And unfortunately, it locks from the outside, so they did lock me in there. And I spent the night on the cot, Sleep it off. Sleep it off out there, So I got out of hand in here one night, but most of the time I'm pretty respectful. But so they treat me pretty good around here. Oh, geez. I'm looking at the laundry list of things I need to do around here, and it's looking pretty long. Hold on a sec. The list is getting shorter by the sip here, I'm telling you. Yeah, Rollsreece kind of tries to do what he has to do to have a good time. I'm just kicking back, taking it easy. I'm trying not to let things bother me. I know, there's some bigger issues in life, societal issues, and the big picture in life. And I do think about those things, and I've got opinions on it. But I'm really just trying to push forward with what I can do, and what I can do to, just lower the pressure, I mean, you gotta work hard. You're never gonna really get rid of that. I mean, even people at the highest levels, they're all working real hard in one way or another. At the lowest levels, you're definitely working hard, but you're out there, you're making a living, and at some point that's going to pay off, believe me, and it is paying off for me. Some people say, hey, Rollsreece, are you in that janitor closet by choice? Not really. I probably could rent a decent apartment, something maybe downtown Caskey, a nice walk up, but but I'm kind of just laying low and saving a buck or two here in the janitor's closet. So anyway, I'm starting to ramble here. I know you can tell it's a little of the hair of the dog that bit him. It's coming back. But, once I get up and going here, I'm still kind of groggy here in the morning. I'm wiping the crust out of my eyes. And I did have a little breakfast here before I started the cast. I actually had a little bit of a pork chop and a bagel. I don't know if you ever heard of a pork chop and a bagel. Where you freaking fry up a pork chop and Freaking have a bagel with cream cheese on the side. I know it doesn't sound very appetizing, but I don't know. Something I kind of just did on a whim a couple years ago, and every now and then I go, "Hey, let's have a pork chop and a bagel." So I had a pork chop and a bagel here this morning. I mean, there's limited ingredients here at the Caskie Lodge, but they got pork chop and they got bagels. I don't know why they got so many bagels, but hey, I enjoy them. And had a little bit of that, and I got to cut my hair. That's something I got to do. I cut my own hair. If you want a little insight into the Rollsreece life, it got to the point where I kept describing this haircut, and I don't know why it was so tough to get right. A simple fade, kind of long on top, and some people got close, but ultimately I was like, I got to figure this out. So I went and bought the clipper kit, with all the attachments, and got all the freaking attachments on there, and it took me about 1 to 2 years of haircutting to figure it out. I'm not kidding you. One time I did it, and it ended up looking like a frickin' toupee. I'm not kidding. I tried it for a day. I thought I did, but I went up way too high, and I left it too long on top and kind of around the, and it wasn't even a bowl cut because it was kind of undercut. So it looked like hair was sitting on my head. And I remember going into, here at the Caskie Lodge and starting work for the day. And the people are just like, no, oh, God, no, looking at me. And so I ended up having to shave it down. And, it wasn't really the look I was hoping for. There was a bit of a family reunion right after that where I kind of had short hair. That wasn't my normal hair. I like it a little bit longer, so I'm gonna try doing it today. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, whoa, Rollsreece, you hungover. We heard you crack a beer there. Don't worry, I got it down. It's muscle memory at this point. I've got this. I'm gonna make the haircut look good. So don't worry. I won't offend any business contacts in the future with this haircut or anything like that. I'm just going to get it done. It's a simple fade, a little bit long on top. I do the part on one side. Some people kind of call it like a Poindexter look. I don't know. I used to do freaking like the slick back, the hairspray with the slick back, and and I remember I was talking to this one guy when they goes, you look like the kind of guy who should own a 57 Chevy. So, and he wasn't wrong. The only thing I was missing was the freaking black leather jacket. So, I quit using the product. I still have a little bit of hairspray around here, but I don't know. I think I'm over that. I used to make it like a helmet because the truth is the hair is pretty thin on Rollsreece. I don't know if it's bald. I don't know if it's balding, but it's pretty freaking thin hair that just freaking wafts up in the air at any random time. So I don't know. I definitely just going to do a regular haircut. And I just use 3 attachments. It takes me about 30 minutes. And then the worst part of it is the vac up process. That's a short process for those you aren't hip to the lingo. But anyway, yeah, just get her done. So that's what I'm doing today. No guest, just kind of chilling out, recovering from the hangover, rambling, watching some movies. I've been on an 80s movies kick, and I watched the movie Rad. If anyone remembers the movie Rad, it's about BMX bikes back in '84, and yeah, pretty freaking funny. And one of the stars of it, Lori Loughlin, whatever. The one who just got locked up for freaking paying for her kid to get into college or whatever. So anyway, yeah, she's in it. And, it's just a funny because back then it was cool. It was like, oh, look at these moves. Look at these bike moves. Oh, yeah. That's what I sounded like as an 8-year-old kid, because I think that's when that came out. Hey, everybody, look at these moves. That was me in the playground. That's what I sounded like. But anyway, it's a funny movie. And then I just watched the movie Roxanne, Steve Martin. That's a classic. Watch that. And I don't know. There's a lot of them out there. I just watched a movie called Grizzly 2. If you see this movie, Grizzly 2, it has Charlie Sheen and George Clooney and oh, I can't remember the other actress's name, unfortunately. Geez. Nope, can't remember her name. Anyway, it was pretty freaking cheesy. And they're the biggest names in the movie, but it was right when they started out. So they died within the first 5 minutes. And it wasn't even a bad grizzly attack. You would see like a flash of like a stuffed grizzly head. You'd see a flash of that and a growl, and then they would flash to them in terror, and then that just indicated, yeah, they're dead. You know, it flashed back and forth. That's it. You're dead. That's the that's the whole scene with them. So yeah, the biggest stars of the movie, who weren't stars yet, but you know, it's funny they were slaughtered within the first 5 minutes. And then it had like weird, like, I don't know if it got remade or it was never released, but it had like 90s. Like all of a sudden you see like a 90s band kind of like edited in, and like it's not even edited in the movie. It's like just a random music video that they just edit in with people just dancing in a black room under a it's so weird. But I highly recommend this movie. Grizzly 2. Watch this movie, Grizzly 2. It's hilarious. And you know, anything from the 80s, you know. I mean, I actually heard they're remaking Short Circuit. You know, Johnny 5, No Disassemble. Hell yeah. Let's get that out there. Let's get these movies made, man. I mean, these premises, we can't let them fade away. You know, robots coming to life, stuffed grizzlies slaughtering the main stars of the movie in the first 5 minutes. Let's get it all made. Oh man. All right. Well, you know, I can tell I'm getting a little out of control here, and I hopefully that's to your amusement, because I feel like I am making a fool of myself right now. But you know, I want to do a pod once a week. You know, regardless, periodically you're gonna get these where it's just a freaking rant that I go on, you know, a hungover rant in this case, you know, maybe a little hair of the dog, what bit me, you know, a little hair of the dog in there. Come on, there's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, if you were here, we'd be having a good time. I mean, typically, I've been trying to do kind of like a midday, kind of like, I don't know, like a, you know, back in the, this is what I've been told. I wasn't there obviously, but back in the 50s, 60s, you know, they have what they called a 4-martini lunch, you know? So, I mean, I almost kind of want to do like a 4-martini lunch, you know, with my guests when they show up, you know? Now, sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. You know, if they can, they can. If they can't, they can't. There have been guests who are like, you know, I don't need the 4 martinis, but appreciate it. I don't even need one drink. You know, that's fine. No one's forcing you to drink. But I can say this: that whether you drink or not, we always have a great time here at the Kasky Lodge and the Rollsreece podcast. And we got some pretty exciting SODEs coming up here, and some pretty good guests. You know, like I say, I think there's going to be some surprises. So tune in, you know, stick with us. And I appreciate y'all listening. You know, I see I've got 25 subscribers. So I'm talking to you, you know, the 25 people that are tuning in every week. You know, I'm sure I probably know every one of you. You know, there probably aren't any people I don't know. But if there are people I don't know, hey, it's nice to meet you. You know, welcome to the Rollsreece podcast. Welcome aboard. You're going to hear insane ramblings. You're going to hear cool interviews, and you're just going to be hanging with friends. So, welcome aboard to that. And I'm really having fun doing it, and happy to have everyone listening and hanging out with. So, this has basically been the Rollsreece Hangover podcast. I'm going to get to these chores here. You know, that's the best cure for a hangover. Get to work, kid. No, that is not my philosophy, but I got to get some stuff done. But hey, thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.